We've got a lot to cover, and a little time. If you didn't know, unmarked locations are locations on the map that aren't marked. Yes, very self-explanatory. Usually they contain something significant like an Easter egg or a secret, but sometimes they're just interesting places. We're gonna round up each one and have ourselves a little look-see at what makes these places so special. Every single one. If you didn't know, that's kind of our thing here on the channel. We're all about secrets and hidden lore, and we already have a bunch of unmarked location videos up and running for you guys to dive into. So check them out after this one, and let's get started. Stashed away in the Mojave Wasteland, just a stone's throw west of the Monte Carlo Suites, lies an abandoned home that's the perfect fixer-upper for any courier looking for a quiet place to rest, at least until you step outside. This unmarked spot offers the simple luxury of a usable bed, but beware, checking the mail might just blow up in your face. And a surprise visit from 3 fiends is pretty much guaranteed. The more interesting part of this location is that its cell name in the game files gives an interesting nod to Frank Lloyd Wright's Usonian homes. It's truly insane to me that the developers of Obsidian are putting Easter eggs not only in the game, but also in the game files. These people are really next level. Just northwest of the Yanks Memorial lies the abandoned shack, or as the sign suggests, the Hornet's Nest 588. Built from the remains of an airplane fuselage, this unmarked location offers the discerning courier a cozy hideaway complete with a usable bed, a reloading bench, and a sink and a toilet that come with complimentary radiation. Inside, you'll find random loot strewn about and an overturned table adding to the decor, and also a warm fire crackling in an empty barrel. Don't forget to grab the doggy treat by the fire, perfect for any of your canine companions. Bonus perk, the containers here won't eat your stash, making it an ideal place to set up camp and keep your treasures safe from the Wasteland wanderers. Located just east of the Allied Technologies offices, the abandoned warehouse is the perfect spot for Wasteland adventurers who love a good game of hide and seek with ridiculously large loot. This unmarked location features a single room setup. Half is an open space filled with file cabinets and desks, while the other half is a maze of metal containers stacked sky high. Take the stairs to a catwalk that leads nowhere, but at least you'll get a bird's eye view of the chaos below. This warehouse plays a key role in the Birds of a Feather quest, where you'll find it prepped and stocked with Brahmin, troopers, and unconscious Legion soldiers who might just wake up if you're not careful. Once you get in, you can take a strange look at the oversized junk. A giant coffee mug, supersized Nuka-Cola bottles, and tin cans that look like they're straight out of a cartoon. These are comically large items that are tucked away in a mini maze of shipping containers. So if you didn't know these existed, then it just means more junk for your collection at the Lucky 38. Also, if any of the items are stuck, then just shoot them to get unstuck, and you can collect them. We're now out of the abandoned portion, as I like to call it. But honestly, these places are pretty interesting right out of the gate. That's not always the case with a lot of these videos. It truly goes to show just how much love Obsidian put into this game, even for the places that they didn't give a name. Before the bombs dropped, Acme Realty was the go-to real estate agency for anyone looking to snag a piece of the American dream. Fast forward to the post-apocalypse and you'll find 2 of their offices still standing in the Mojave Wasteland. One office is located near the old Mormon fort in Freeside and the other next to Westside's south entrance. But don't bother trying to schedule a viewing because the interior of these locations is inaccessible. It's too bad, they'd probably have a nice deal going for the abandoned shack. That place is really nice. B&K Cleaners was a bustling chain of cleaning businesses before the Great War left the world in ruins. You can find 3 of their unmarked locations scattered throughout the Mojave Wasteland. One is prominently positioned at the corner of the main street in Freeside, close to the Atomic Wrangler Casino, while the other 2 are located in Westside. Despite their prominent locations, all 3 B&K Cleaner buildings remain inaccessible, locked away as remnants of a time when clean clothes were more than a distant memory. Business must have been booming with these 3 locations located so close to each other. To find Bootjack Cavern, head east from the wrecked highwayman toward the Lucky Jim mine. Then follow the cliff north until you reach the west-facing entrance. Inside, the cavern is a small cave divided into 3 sections, inhabited by fire geckos. It's probably hot as hell in there. You'll discover a pile of fire gecko eggs at the southern end of the cave system, which is useful for the Bleed Me Dry quest. The cave also features a sulfur and potassium deposit similar to the one found in Vault 19 sulfur caves, though this version is smaller and non-interactive. Also, keep an eye out for 2 dead prospectors whose loot may include unique weapons, ammo, and rare apparel like the slave scarf. This is another building with a sign, and that's pretty much its significance. But what makes these places interesting is the fact that you've probably never paid attention to these locations. You just walk by and never really read what the sign says. It feels immersive and real, and that's why these places are fun to explore. You'll find Buck's Steakhouse situated along the main road through Freeside. It lies slightly west-southwest of the King's School of Impersonation. The sign also includes a Sunday buffet. Wonder if it was any good. This pre-war residential spot is located between Camp Searchlight and the Searchlight Airport along the camp's southern border. The trailer park is filled with numerous trailers and campers that you can explore. Just be cautious of the high radiation levels, particularly around the radioactive barrels, where radiation can reach up to 8 rads per second. The area is also inhabited by several golden geckos and feral trooper ghouls, which can be tough to take down. The loot here is but it's still a cool place to check out if you've never seen it before. Travel to the edge of Lake Mead in Calville Bay and you'll find the old boat storage warehouse. If you've never come across it, I don't blame you. It's a living hell. Outside the rental store, you'll encounter up to 7 cazadors and their nests, with lake lurks lurking nearby on the shores. The store's weathered sign advertises Captain Dean boats and bait rentals, worms, ice cream. Inside, be prepared to face up to 5 giant rats as you explore because apparently outside wasn't enough of a challenge. The interior features a bookshelf in the center, 2 counters on the right and back walls, and 4 shelving units on the left filled with various items. Behind the far counter, there's an average locked safe, while the right-hand wall sports a bulletin board with key hooks under a boat rental sign. The keys are non-interactive though. You'll also find 2 Sunset Sarsaparilla Star bottle caps, one in the middle display box at the front counter and another by the cash register.
In the Mojave Wasteland, north of the Crimson Caravan Company and near a string of power line towers, lies Carliles St. Clair's house, a hidden refuge. This unmarked location serves as the retreat of Carlile St. Clair III, a man on the run with a shadowy past.
Oh, this is getting good.
On October 2281, Carlisle was targeted by Mortimer's faction, the White Glove Society. Their twisted plan was to use Carlisle as the centerpiece of a grotesque meal, a bid to resurrect their infamous old ways of cannibalism. Realizing the danger, Carlisle managed to escape and flee New Vegas, recognizing the faces of his would-be captors. Now, he lives in constant fear, holed up in an abandoned shack and always wary of anyone approaching.
The house itself is a modest one-room structure located off a road running from Harowitz Farmstead to Rowell's Shack. Outside, a dumpster holds random loot for scavengers. Inside, the sparse furnishings include a double-sized bed, a refrigerator stocked with alcoholic beverages, and a shelf. Carlisle himself can be often found sitting outside, and he's not normal. If you talk to him, he might just start blasting. It's probably the trauma. I would bet a lot of people have never seen this place or heard of Carlisle before, because who the F sides with the cannibals ever? Also, Mortimer sends you here to deal with Carlisle, and he says watch out for all the traps or something like that. I haven't seen a singular trap here.
Mysterious? I think so.
North of Good Springs and southeast of a ruined tribal village lies a solemn marker known as Chance's Grave. This unmarked location is special, and it holds some interesting New Vegas lore and is featured in the graphic novel All Roads, which is a Fallout comic written by Chris Avalon. Chance was a member of the Great Khans, caught in a tragic turn of fate. While traveling with Benny and a group of Khans to ambush a courier, they encountered a tribal village under siege by fiends. The raiders' flames triggered Chance's traumatic memories of the Bitter Springs massacre. Driven by his past, Chance joined the fray, attacking the fiends with fierce determination. In the chaos, he confronted the raider leader, but was grievously burned by a flamer. The wounds from the fire were severe, and Benny, ever the schemer, saw an opportunity to rid himself of Chance. He orchestrated Chance's demise with a dose of Spike's Psycho, leaving the Great Khan to be buried in the Wasteland. Jessup and McMurphy, fellow Khans, laid him to rest near the village, honoring him in death. To find Chance's final resting place, follow a dirt path up into the rocky alcove. The grave is marked by a lone raven that might flutter away as you approach. This place is really an amazing touch of immersion that you guys should check out. Of course, after reading the book. You know the deal on these ones. The remnants of Cherry Liquor can be found in Freeside, with one location near the main road leading to the Strip and the other beside the Atomic Wrangler Casino. Of course, they're inaccessible just like the others, just more immersive flavor buildings. In the Mojave Wasteland, remnants of a pre-war disaster lie buried beneath the sands. A crashed cargo plane, situated southwest of the Nifton Road pit stop. The crash site reveals only parts of the ill-fated aircraft, the left wing and the tail fin just out of the desert sand. Among the wreckage, you can find an ammunition box which can be found tucked under the back wing. I wonder if the plane crashed during the bombs, or after, or maybe even before. There are no clues here to tell us, but it's a cool place to check out. This place is wild. Seriously. Nestled on the east bank of the Colorado River, the Deathclaw Promontory is a scenic overlook with a twist. Its view is as perilous as it is breathtaking. This unmarked location, perched just east of the Lucky Gem mine and a cliffside prospector camp, is a Deathclaw hotspot. And I don't mean that lightly. You think the Quarry Junction is bad, then you have no idea. You'll find 36 Deathclaws in this location alone. Navigating the promontory is a challenge in itself, with a maze of hills and the ever-present threat of a united Deathclaw pack. These creatures, from alpha males to baby Deathclaws, are more organized than their Quarry Junction counterparts. Trigger them in any way, any of them, and they will all come calling. For those brave, or foolish enough, to explore, notable finds include the Remnant's power armor, minus the helmet, the T-51B power armor, and a variety of Deathclaw eggs. You can also score a multi-plas rifle and a tri-beam laser rifle from the corpses of the fallen prospectors. And if you're feeling lucky, there is a helmet for the Remnant's power armor hidden in Silver Peak Mine. As a bonus, the area is dotted with Brock flower plants and Xander roots, perfect for those looking to harvest some rare ingredients amidst the chaos. But don't think it's over after you kill the main pack, because more will come crawling in after the fact. This place is madness. Just north of the ominously named Devil's Throat, you'll find the Devil's Throat Cavern. As you approach, you'll find a campfire surrounded by up to 4 heavily armed super mutant masters. These brutes come equipped with an array of weapons, from missile launchers to miniguns, and might even have a few grenades or nail boards at their disposal. Maybe I should call this segment of the video Survival Players Don't F*** Around. If you're playing with the Wild Wasteland trait enabled, the area becomes even more intriguing and explosive. Look to the northwest of the cave, where an undetonated nuclear bomb known as the One awaits. The actual cavern isn't that interesting, but it is based on the real-world location of the Devil's Throat sinkhole at the Gold Butte? But? I don't know, you decide. A national monument in Clark County, Nevada. The El Diablo roller coaster stands as a rusty relic of Prim's pre-war charm, once the star attraction of the Bison Steve Hotel and Casino. This coaster was a highlight for travelers on the Interstate 15. Now it's just a crumbling monument with only a single roller coaster left on the ground. Following the NCRCF prison break, some escaped convicts have made the derelict tracks their battleground, shooting at anyone who dares to venture near. If you're feeling adventurous, you can climb on the highest point of the coaster, either by following the tracks from behind the hotel or using a door on the hotel's second floor. Just don't expect much more than a view. There's no loot or interaction to be had. You can also find a framed pre-war newspaper in the nearby Vicky and Vance Casino, which tells a grim tale of a resident who ended up splattered on the roller coaster tracks. And if you're curious, the El Diablo is inspired by the real-life Desperado roller coaster at the Buffalo Bills Resort and Casino in Prim, Nevada. This is just another building with a unique sign, and you can find one near Miguel's Pawn Shop. The fabulous New Vegas sign is located just north of Camp McCarran, near the southern edge of the strip. This iconic landmark does have a flashy history. The sign's appearance in the game's cinematic intro features an inaccessible platform behind it, where an NCR veteran ranger takes aim at a fiend by the El Rey Motel. Despite this looking badass, you can't actually access this platform or see NPCs using it. I tried. The sign's design is a twist on the real-world "Welcome to the Fabulous Las Vegas" sign, with new covering the loss and the E in the new cleverly swapped with a reversed 3. Also, a smiley face adds a nice little touch to the O in welcome. The cool part about the sign is that it's not just in New Vegas. It also makes appearances in Fallout 4's Pip-Boy minigame Atomic Command, and spoiler alert, I'll wait 2 seconds, the end credits of the Fallout TV series. Just southeast of the Horowitz farmstead and just north of Westside, the Fiend House stands as a modest 1-level hideaway in the Mojave Wasteland. This unmarked location is a treasure trove of chems, ammunition, and assorted goodies. Inside, you'll find a bed for when you need a nap. Just watch out for the fiends. Typically, one lurks indoors while another patrols the exterior. Outside the house is surrounded by a patch of maize that can be foraged. Isn't it nice that these drug-addled fiends planted some nice flowers outside of their crack house? I think so. Once a bustling major roadway in pre-war Nevada, Fremont Street now meanders through Freeside, the gritty makeshift neighborhood outside the strip's impenetrable gates. The street runs along the old commercial district's edge, now a patchwork of dilapidated buildings and a hotbed of tension between NCR travelers and local squatters. In the world of Fallout, Fremont Street hosts a gritty backdrop where you might hear local rumors or find the Silver Rush run by the Van Graffs. though the game does hint at its real-world counterpart's history with an unused street sign in the files. Located west of the Gibson scrapyard, the shack was once a covert hub for Father Elijah to exchange top-secret tech tidbits with his trusted associates, including Veronica, before the Brotherhood of Steel's fall from grace. Today, the shack stands empty. Inside, you'll find a clutter of bottles, including an assortment of alcohol and chems scattered around. The decor is unsettling, featuring a skeleton sprawled on the bed, a butter knife jabbed into a broken TV, and a bloody lawnmower blade on the floor. There's also a finger impaled on a machete stuck in the wall, hinting at some dark history that remains a mystery. Though it's named for Old Lady Gibson, she never actually uses this place. It seems to have fallen into disrepair. I did read an interesting tidbit about this location though. Apparently Alice Hostetler has a set of dialogue lines and movement packages directing her towards Gibson Shack. If convinced to fulfill her own dreams and leave her parents during someone to watch over me, she would eventually make her way towards Novak in search of a home, and would then finally choose to settle down inside of this shack. Something appeared to bug out her movement and it was never fixed, so now this will never actually happen in the game. The Great Con Armory is a hidden gem buried in the basement of a crumbling house northeast of Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. You can access it through the weathered yellow cellar door, and you'll find yourself in the heart of a Great Con armament. It's guarded by a Great Con and managed by the Armorer. This armory is pretty amazing for those with a solid reputation among the cons. But if you don't have a good reputation with the cons, then all you need to do is unlock a hard lock to access the stash of weapons and equipment. There's also a workbench and a reloading bench on hand for your crafting needs. I didn't know this place actually existed until I did this video. I've been playing the game since release. It's actually crazy how much content can be missed. I love it. Speaking of the Great Cons, did you know that they have 3 secret supply caves? Okay, you may have because they are connected to a couple side quests. But the Great Con supply caves are scattered around Bitter Springs, and they do have some interesting loot. Located at the north edge of Bitter Springs, the irradiated supply cave is home to giant ants and a cache of radioactive supplies hidden behind a broken fence. Just keep an eye out for the irradiated environment. North of Bitter Springs, the Night Stalker Den supply cave is a nightmarish den of bloodthirsty Night Stalkers. The supply cache, protected by an easy lock, is located behind a gate in a small passageway. To the northwest of Bitter Springs is Oscar Velasco's supply cave. This cave is where you'll find Oscar Velasco. It contains a Great Con supply cache and some minor loot with access guarded by an easy lock. You have to navigate carefully up the mountain path to reach it. I obviously don't think they ever intended to come back for these supply caches, but I guess you never know. It just seemed insane to come back here, down on your luck, looking for extra supplies to survive, and then you're greeted by a den of Night Stalkers. I'm sure that would be fun. All these locations, and I think we're only a quarter of the way there. Seriously. So make sure you sub so you don't miss out on all the locations coming, and there's some doozies. Also, if you could like the video, I'd really appreciate it. It would help me out a lot. For those of you that are still here, because most people leave right when you start ending a video, I just want to thank you guys for watching and ask you a question for the channel because I trust your opinions. Did you like the longer format of this video, or do you prefer the around 10-minute mark? Just leave your thoughts in the comments and let me know. I'm trying to get through all these games, but it might take me a bit doing the 10-minute format. But if that's what people prefer, then that's what they prefer. Anyways, thank you guys again. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next.